Scorpio, what's going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Scorpio Tarot reading. In this Scorpio Tarot reading today, we are going to take a look at what's blocking you, what's getting in your way, what's holding you back from living the kind of life that you really want to live here in January 2025. To do that, I'm going to get you 3 cards from the Lantern Oracle deck, which is really about looking inside yourself for those things that your attention and awareness might need to be brought to things that are slowing you down. Then I'm going to clarify all of that with the tarot deck just to make sure we can get down to the bottom of the unknown truth about what's really getting in your way this month. Then I'm going to finish the reading off by getting you some advice from the universe about what you might need reminded of about yourself in order to make it past these blockages a little easier. So let's get started here. Let's get 3 cards for Scorpio. What is blocking Scorpio in January 2025, please? It's getting in Scorpio's way. Look at all this stuff trying to scoot away all at one time here. Looks like you might have a lot going on. Let's get one more, please. Thank you. Okay, what do we have here? First thing we got blocking you in January 2025, Scorpio, strength of vulnerability. It says, oh my eyes here, true power lies at the root of a perceived weakness. So you got something that you perceive as a weakness about yourself, but really is a source of strength that you're not tapping into. Central to your blockages, we have spirit self. And it says, be who you are as you are. And then we've got card number 40, inner integration. There is peace, equilibrium, and fulfillment in integrating the inner wild with the taming and tempering effect life has on us. Let's take a look at this first one here. We got card 4, strength of vulnerability. True power lies at the root of a perceived weakness. What is going on with that, Scorpio? Let's clarify this. Tell me more about the strength of vulnerability. What's this perceived weakness about? Got one in here. Okay. Underlying this energy of strength of vulnerability, we have the World. This is the final card of the major arcana. So this represents the completion of cycles and at the same time, the beginning of new cycles. So that's saying when one door closes, another one opens, kind of like this here. This is something coming to an end and starting something new. In terms of a blockage, this would probably be fear of endings or fear of new beginnings or possibly being stuck in some kind of a cycle here. Strength of vulnerability. This one's screaming at me here. True power lies at the root of a perceived weakness. So what this might be something going on with you where something is coming to an end and something new is starting, and you might be perceiving that as a weakness, but not necessarily the case. To clarify that, I got the Knight of Pentacles, the 6 of Cups, and the 9 of Wands. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck. This is very slow, monotonous forward movement. It's kind of like watching somebody's hair grow. Like, we both know that my hair technically is growing. You just can't see it while you're looking at it. And that's usually what this energy is, like a really frustrating thing where I wanted something like yesterday, and I'm getting the snail's pace. I'm getting this slow drip where it's just like, frustrating. So you could have something that's moving really, really slowly for you. Sometimes this can be a person who has like the step-by-step procedure for how they're supposed to do things, and they will not deviate from that, and they go through it meticulously step-by-step. So this can be sometimes as a blockage, like the lack of flexibility or unwillingness to be flexible on something here. We also have the 6 of Cups, which is the card of the past. It's thinking about the past. This is Scorpio energy. The good old days, the way things used to be. It can represent something from the past coming back up again or happening again, or even someone from the past kind of making a comeback. In terms of something that you have that you're perceiving as a weakness about yourself, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how this applies, and in these readings I typically don't. I lack the context. I don't know if this is about a relationship, if this is about something with you personally, a project you're working on, a family member. I have no idea. Only you're going to know that, so you just got to take this however it resonates. In terms of a blockage, the Six of Cups would be probably too much focus on the past, or being stuck in the past on something, or even something coming back up again. Also have the Nine of Wands here. This is Sagittarius energy. This is a walled off defensive kind of an energy. Like, this is the wounded warrior, and he's built this wall around himself as like a defense mechanism. It's like a way to protect himself so he doesn't get hurt, or so he doesn't continue to get hurt. This could be you're too walled off about something. You got something from the past here affecting you. This hopefully will make a little bit more sense as I go on here. I got next in your central to your blockages, spirit self. Be who you are as you are, which kind of hard to do if you've got walls up that you're hiding behind. Let's take a look at this. Tell me more about spirit self. What is that here for Scorpio? Okay, we're getting extra cards. Underlying this spirit self energy, 10 of Wands. This is a heavy burden that you're carrying. This is something that's weighing you down and holding you back. It's telling you be who you are as you are, which kind of implies like you got something going on here that you're perceiving as a weakness. So maybe you try to downplay that or hide it or pretend like it's not there. Maybe it's becoming a part of your shadow, and this is talking about that piece of you is actually part of who you're supposed to be. Maybe you've got some kind of a history of trying to hide behind a wall to protect yourself. And maybe you're lacking the flexibility here to like come out from behind the wall, but this is telling you that you need to, because what you've been doing is actually slowing you down. Probably preventing you from getting what it is that you want. When I clarify spirit self, I get Justice, the Fool, the Ace of Swords, and the Six of Swords. Justice is the most powerful card of balance in the deck. It's about doing the right, fair, just thing. The sword is about cutting away something that's not in balance so balance can be restored, and then the right, fair, just thing can happen. Like what's supposed to happen can happen. So this is telling me you have something out of balance here. Something not correct is happening. I've got that same sword laying right here in the same column of clarifiers here. This is like a decision to do something. It's also the sword you would cut this out of balance thing away with. There's sometimes this can be like a lack of like meaningful progress on something, or a lack of like being able to look at it and see that progress has been made, and maybe that is creating something that's out of balance. Or maybe this whole idea of you thinking that something is a weakness for you when it's really not, and you trying to wall it off or contain it in some way. Maybe that's the part itself that's unbalanced. Like sometimes the Knight of Pentacles can represent a person who knows what they're supposed to do, but they're just not doing it for some reason. Could be something like that going on. I've got the Fool next. This is the first card of the Major Arcana, first card of the whole tarot deck, card 0. This is a new beginning at something. That 0 represents absolutely nothing and the potential for everything all at the same time. This is about just taking the leap of faith on something, just going for it, not needing to know what all the steps are or how it's going to work itself out, what the end result will be, not needing to know all that, just saying, screw it, I'm going to leap off this cliff and I'll worry about how to grow wings on my way down. Like I will figure this out as I go. In terms of a blockage, this can represent like a fear of new beginnings, or a fear of taking the leap of faith, or like there's something that you're supposed to just go for it and do, but you're not doing it, like you're hesitating, and there could potentially be a history of that. Or something from your past could actually be stopping you from taking this leap of faith. I've got the Ace of Swords next, which is the sword of clarity, the sword of truth, the sword you make decisions with. Like if you have a decision here to whether I'm taking a leap of faith or not, this is the sword to decide with. You've got this unbalanced thing going on here related to not being who you are as you are. And this could be saying cut that away. It could be saying make the decision, cut this wall away, this thing, this barrier for you. Six of Swords is the final clarifier here. This is about moving forward into calmer waters. It's about leaving these rough, choppy waters of the past behind you, in the past where it belongs. So whatever this is representing for you, it's talking about moving away from that. And as a blockage, this would be like not moving away from it, carrying it with you. Like that's the implied choice that comes with this card, is it's about moving away from something painful that's already happened, and you can't change this thing in the past because it's over with already. Your real control is going into the future. And do I carry the burden that painful thing caused into my future so it keeps weighing me down and holding me back and blocking me? Or do I carry forward the lesson that painful thing taught me so that something like that doesn't happen again, so that I can take new actions and move closer toward what it is that I want here? Final card here for your blockages is inner integration. There is peace, equilibrium, and fulfillment in integrating the inner wild with the taming and tempering effect life has on us. So like that, that part like being a kid, we get tamed down as we grow up. We have it beaten out of us, essentially, be realistic. And then this is talking about getting back to that wild piece of you that has been tamed. There's definitely something inside of yourself that is much more of a strength for you than you think it is. And you're perceiving it as a weakness, which is why you're trying to hold it back and wall yourself off from it. But that's actually getting in your way. And this is talking about integrating that. Tell me more about that, please. Thank you. Make sure nothing else flipped in there. Okay. To clarify inner integration, we get the Moon, the Page of Cups, and the Six of Wands. The Moon is fear, worry, and anxiety. It's usually from uncertainty, like when the moon's out and it's dark outside, you can't see your own hand in front of your face. So it's hard to tell, am I on the correct path? Was this even the right path for me to begin with? Did I make a wrong turn? Should I turn around and go back? That level of uncertainty can give you fear, worry, and anxiety. You could have some fear about integrating this piece of yourself because you perceive it as a weakness. But this card is also about an illusion, which means it's not actually a weakness. It's actually a strength. This really, the core meaning of this card is like, even though you can't see the full path ahead of you, it's about just keep going, one foot in front of the other. And that's your very first, like, one foot in front of the other. You just got to do it. No point in focusing on the fear. This is also a card about intuition. So you could be letting fear get in your way. You could be letting uncertainty, like the not knowing, not having a clear path in front of you, getting in your way. You could just not be listening to your intuition. I've got the Page of Cups next, which is news, messages, communications about love, emotions, creativity, expressing feelings. This is like usually like not taking the first step on something that is either intuitive for you or is like an emotional thing for you. I've got 2 cups in this row. It's just like not taking the necessary steps, and this is like hesitating or not going for it, being afraid to go for it, something along those lines. I've got 6 of Wands next, which is a card about success and forward movement and recognition, and what someone recognizing allowing them to move forward successfully. So as a block, it would be pretty much the opposite of those things. It would be like failure to recognize something. This is a card about sometimes getting recognized publicly. Like this person is being celebrated here. So as a blockage, it could be fear of what other people think, or having other people and what they think and what they say and how they perceive you being much more, having too much importance placed on it. Yeah, this is usually like fear of failure or fear of how someone's going to perceive me. Maybe that's where the fear is coming from. Maybe it's actually even a piece of yourself. It's feeling like it's talking about like inner child type stuff. I got something from your past affecting you here. There's 2 children on that card. It's connected to the Fool, which is a very childlike wonder kind of an energy. And another child card here, 3 cards in the row. And then I've got on this card the same lady from different time periods in her life, talking about integrating all those different layers of yourself. And it could be because you're afraid of what other people are going to think or how they're going to perceive you. And really, the only thing that's got nothing left to go with it in a row all by itself is this 6 of Swords, like leaving something behind. Like that's in the past now. Move away from that and move forward toward what you actually want. That's in the row or the column here with Spirit Self. Be who you are as you are. And around it is like, you got to integrate this piece of yourself that you probably perceive as a weakness. It's called Strength of Vulnerability. Card 4. True power lies at the root of a perceived weakness. And it's time for you to integrate that. Let's get you some advice here. And what is it that you might need reminded of about yourself so that you can make it past this blockage as you move through the rest of January 2025. Let's get one more. Let's get one more, please. Thank you. We got integrity. You demonstrate the truth and honesty of your soul and manifest love in every action. Demonstrate the truth and honesty of your soul. Spirit Self, be who you are as you are. Evolution. You realize that obstacles are merely lessons on your path to love. Yeah. Obstacle, like very last card in your first column here, is the thing you have to get past. It's looking at that piece of yourself as if it's a weakness when it's part of you, and that's who you are, and that's how you're supposed to be, and accept that and use it. Responsibility. You are aware of the power of your thoughts and the amount of love you express. Responsibility, it's in the column with inner integration. I can't integrate that strength in for you. You have to do that. There's no one else that can integrate this piece of yourself. There's no one else that is you, as you are, the way that you are. It's totally up to you to do this. Like, this is the opposite of being a victim here. This is like you are actually empowered because you can change it, and it's up to you to change it.